A very good morning to the Keppel Board. This is Job Consulting, teleconferencing from Bahrain. My name is Joshua.
And my name is Berne. And between the two of us, we have 20 years of experience in the offshore and marine industry. We will be your principal consultants on this engagement. 2 weeks ago, we have received your request for strategic advice. We have thoroughly studied your company and the industry, and we are very excited to have the solutions to your challenges.
Currently, the search for new oil reserves has escalated the demand for offshore exploration and production activities. Keppel's order books have been filled till the year 2010. While the industry has been experiencing a mini boom, not all has been smooth over the years.
Over the past 30 years, the offshore and marine industry has experienced a shift in global regulations, the emergence of renewable energy, the volatility driven by oil prices, and the ever-increasing environmental concerns expressed by governments, corporations, and people around the world.
Amidst these challenges, there are three key issues that can potentially threaten Keppel's leadership position.
The first and most critical issue is the inherent volatility of the offshore and marine industry. The volatility in the demand for offshore and marine services is partially driven by the fluctuating energy prices. The ups and downs of the economic cycles can also cause big swings in the industry demand. Finally, the business uncertainty is further compounded by the risky orders placed by speculative clients. For every speculative order that is subsequently withdrawn, the business of Keppel is significantly disrupted. This industry volatility, if left unmanaged, could inflict Keppel with heavy losses.
Keppel is faced with an increasingly hostile competitive landscape due to the emergence of competition such as Sembcorp Marine and low-cost producers from Korea and China. These companies have been fast growing, and collectively they pose a substantial threat to Keppel's market share. They are also rapidly establishing themselves as demand for exploration and production has accelerated over the years. Also, industry standards are fast converging, making it tougher for Keppel to differentiate itself. Finally, several players in the industry have unwavering support from their governments. Two examples will be COSCO from China and Samsung Group from Korea. Together, these factors make it increasingly challenging for Keppel to compete on cost and quality.
Last but not least, there has been increasing environmental concerns about the impact of offshore activities. These concerns have been expressed by governments, corporations, and communities at large. Following a series of oil spills and environmental breaches, global jurisdictions has been increasingly strict with offshore activities. People from all over the world have also come together to express their discontent to environmentally irresponsible behavior. These events have put the pressure on Keppel and its competitors to frame their business in an environmentally friendly way.
In summary, these are the three key issues that can potentially threaten Keppel's market leadership. As promised, we have tailored 3 recommendations for you to effectively address these challenges.
As mentioned earlier, the offshore and marine industry has been experiencing fluctuating demand for the past 30 years. There are unfilled orders during times of boom and excess capacity during a downturn. Should Keppel rigidly expand to fulfill unfilled orders, the excess in capacity during a downturn will only serve to increase, making Keppel a riskier business. Our recommendation is to enhance Keppel's production capabilities by using a more flexible approach. During an economic boom, Keppel shall engage in project-based subcontracts to limit its long-term commitment. Then, during a downturn, Keppel will exploit the excess capacity across the industry to make cheap and valuable acquisitions. This strategy is known as business cycle management. This will allow Keppel to mitigate the industry volatility that has destroyed numerous players over the years. At the same time, it allows Keppel to leverage on the ups and downs of the economy to grow sustainably. So how should we implement the business cycle management? Firstly, since we are currently experiencing a boom, Keppel Board should put all acquisitions on hold. By the end of next year, Keppel should have assembled its own economic forecasting unit and begin monitoring leading indicators to gain a sense of where the economy is heading. With that, Keppel's business cycle management should be up and running by 2009, after the strategic committee has been set up.
Next, we propose that Keppel begin supplying infrastructure for wind and tidal energy. Advancements in technology has increased the popularity and feasibility of such energy sources. Furthermore, wind and tidal energy are turbine-based and generate higher yield compared to other alternative forms of energy. Keppel will provide compatible infrastructure while engaging partners such as Siemens and Vestas to supply wind and tidal turbines. This initiative will increase Keppel's green footprint. As the market leaders of the industry, it is fitting that Keppel too sets the standard for environmental responsibility. Keppel will also be able to further differentiate through caring for the environment and consequently attract environmentally conscious clients. Lastly, as Keppel's business is fundamentally driven by energy prices, having a stake in the alternative energy industry will serve as a business hedge. In line with Keppel's near-market, near-customer strategy, production facilities will be located at existing shipyards in Netherlands, Algeria, and Norway to tap on Europe's demand for wind energy. To meet American demand, facilities will be located at Keppel's 4 existing shipyards in the Gulf of Mexico. Keppel can engage a feasibility study of the venture immediately. Next, Keppel can create a turbine division and initiate talks with Siemens and Vestas. Thereafter, engineering and testing of the turbines can commence. Finally, Keppel can commission full-scale implementation of the turbines.
As the market leader of the offshore and marine industry, Keppel is currently involved in various phases of rig construction. Keppel's operations include exploration, construction, repair, and maintenance. However, there's one thing missing in the value chain. Keppel is not putting an end to oil rigs that cease to be functional. Therefore, we suggest that Keppel assume its corporate and environmental responsibility by entering into the decommissioning business. Keppel should set up the Oil Rigs Division, ORD, to service all offshore rigs. The division shall be in charge of the 3 Rs: repairing, replacing, and retiring all offshore rigs. The decommissioning business is a relatively untapped segment of the offshore and marine industry. Hence, it will prove to be an attractive way for Keppel to differentiate its product offering and increase its revenue streams. This move will also serve to address the environmental concerns pertaining to the responsibilities of offshore drillers. To best enter into the decommissioning business, Keppel should set up the ORD with Director Tan being the division head. At the same time, the repair and maintenance teams should be reorganized as well. Under Mr. Tan's leadership, the ORD should complete its first acquisition by the mid of 2008. Thereafter, the ORD will be able to provide the 3 Rs: repairing, replacing, and retiring services to all oil rigs.
In the big scheme of things, there are 2 major risks to our proposed recommendations. The first is the risk of safety and environmental breaches. The second is the indirect loss of Keppel's competitive edge.
As the bulk of our projects are either working with third parties or new ventures, there's a high risk of us running into safety and environmental breaches. The solution is to lay down strict protocol from the management level down to the construction sites to ensure that all activities are conducted in a safe and environmentally sustainable way.
As we increase our partnerships with subcontractors, we run the risk of leaking our competitive know-how. Again, the solution would be to enforce strict discipline at all levels on the use of Keppel's proprietary technology.
We have brought you through our thought process and we are coming to the end of our presentation. The 3 key issues we have identified are industry volatility, competition, and growing environmental concerns.
To effectively tackle these challenges, Keppel should consider our proposal to enhance its production capabilities, develop infrastructure for wind and tidal turbines, and enter the business of decommissioning oil rigs.
As this is the preliminary stage of our proposal, we have withheld sensitive details pertaining to our due diligence.
Once we begin our consulting relationship with Keppel, we shall share with you these specific steps and valuable information you need to successfully implement these recommendations.
Our consulting services include sharing with you
the 22 leading indicators required by Keppel to forecast the business cycle,
extensive due diligence on all acquisition targets,
and optimal management of cash flows for all 3 recommendations.
It has been a pleasure presenting our ideas to you. We thank you for your time and we look forward to consulting with you.